Hey there, Janet with Paper and Spark. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to import in your Shopify Sales CSV to your Paper and Spark Shopify Seller Spreadsheet or your Shopify Import add-on. In the example that you'll see me working with, I'm usually going to be using the Shopify Seller Spreadsheet, but the instructions for importing in that CSV work exactly the same, whether you're using that or the Shopify Import add-on. You're just not going to see all of the extra expense tabs down here if you're using that import add-on because you have those over on your main Paper and Spark Seller spreadsheet. But they both work off the same CSV. They both have these blank light blue import tabs that you'll be copying and pasting things into. So don't be confused if you're using the import add-on. Also want to note that in some parts of these videos, you may see the older version of the Shopify spreadsheet that doesn't include all of these extra Shopify revenue streams. Don't be alarmed if you see that. Everything still works exactly the same, and I'll explain why we chose to break out your revenue streams into different rows here in a minute. Next, I want to note that these instructions for importing in the CSV will work regardless of what type of Shopify plan you have. If you have a basic or a more advanced type of Shopify account, you'll still have access to the CSV that we use, so don't worry about that. You're going to see me poking around in a basic Shopify plan account. That's what I will be using. And we do make updates to these videos to reflect changes in the Shopify dashboard, but if for any reason your Shopify dashboard looks different than what you see in this video, make sure you check out the Google Doc instructions because sometimes those get updated more quickly when there are aesthetic changes to the back end of Shopify, or check out my FAQ knowledge base for up-to-date information also. So with a quick copy and paste from a special CSV in Shopify, we're going to import in a CSV that then allows these built-in formulas to pull everything you see in this light blue section here. We're going to break out your Shopify sales by different revenue streams. You may have one or all of these revenue streams or somewhere in between, obviously. We're breaking things out by your different revenue streams on Shopify, and we're also including or excluding sales tax collected based on what's going on with sales tax. So to walk through these, we've got your Shopify online store here. Everything from your own Shopify website processed via Shopify is going to be dumped into this row here. Next, if you have your Shopify site synced up to Meta, and you're taking sales via Facebook or Instagram, and it goes through your Shopify store, those sales show up here. They are going to not include sales tax because Meta is collecting sales tax on your behalf for those sales. So we're excluding sales tax collected because you don't actually receive that money. Same thing if you have your Shopify site hooked up to TikTok. TikTok is dealing with sales tax on your behalf there. So that will show up in your sales on this row, but not including marketplace sales tax collected. Same thing for sales processed via Shopify's Shop app. So this is if anybody is buying products from you via the Shop app, which is a totally separate app than your Shopify store itself. In January 2025, Shopify announced that they're going to be treating the Shop app as a marketplace facilitator. So again, we're excluding sales tax collected there. Next, if you have your Shopify site synced up with Faire, that's wholesale sales. Those sales will show up separately here. And then finally, if you're using Shopify's point of sale card reader, those sales will show up on their own row as well. And they include any sales tax you collected. Quick note for those that I do have in the instructions too, but just want to point out if you're using that POS card reader, you're going to need to go in after you import in your CSV and list the location, the state of that sale in either column M, the shipping region, or column J, the billing region, because Shopify leaves the location blank only for your POS sales. So if you need that sales tax state information, we'll talk about this in a separate video. Make sure you remember to do that. All right. And I'm just making note of that so you're aware of it when that video comes. If you don't want to see all these rows, you can hit this minimize button here and just look at your total sales from all those revenue streams. Or if you're only, taking sales from one source and all of these rows are not really needed, you can minimize them that way. If you're using numbers, you're not going to see this little minimize button. but you can highlight those rows and then just click hide. You'll still have the ability to hide those rows if needed. Finally, you're going to be importing in your shipping received from your customers and your refunds issued across all of these revenue streams into one row. I didn't want to break it out by revenue stream because that would be a whole bunch of rows and be really cumbersome. So any shipping that your customers actually pay you will be reported, totaled up from that CSV here, and any refunds you issue will be totaled on that row here. I want to note also that I do have an area below the net profit row where when you import in that CSV, any marketplace sales tax collected on your behalf and hopefully remitted on your behalf will show for you down here below the net profit row. That will be sales tax collected on Meta sales, TikTok sales, and Shop app sales at this time. So if for any reason you need that number, like if Shopify decides that they're going to report total revenue, including sales tax they collected on your behalf, you do have that totaling up for you down here, just in case you need that. So let's talk about where we go to import in the CSV from Shopify. All right, so unfortunately, there used to be a report in your Shopify reports list, like out of the box, that worked well for copying and pasting into your Paper and Spark spreadsheet that had all the information you need. They have gotten rid of that report. So I am going to walk you through how to custom create your own particular bookkeeping report that you'll be able to export as a CSV, paste into your spreadsheet, and be good to go. It is a little tricky to create this report the very first time, but the good news is that I'm going to walk you through it and you only have to do it one time, then you can save it and use it going forward. So let's walk through how to do that. I want you to go to Reports under your Analytics. After you're in Reports, you want to find a report called Total Sales by Order. Okay, and if you don't see it in this list, it's under the Finances category. You can always search up here for Total Sales by Order specifically. Okay, this is a custom one I've already created. That's our end goal here, but I'm showing you how to make it for the first time. So you want to start with their template version of Total Sales by Order. Now, what we need to do here is customize this report so that the columns are in the exact right order for copying and pasting into your Shopify spreadsheet, so the built-in formulas there can find exactly what they need. So we need to add some columns, we need to delete a few columns, we need to reorder a few columns. So just try to follow these instructions carefully. First, I encourage you to make sure no comparison is shown up there. We're good to go there. You want to make sure that you can see this little customization section over here. If you can't, you may need to click this button up here to expand that. Now we will start under the metrics menu. So the first thing we want to do is add a new metric called net items sold. We want to search for that. You can search for net items sold, check it off, and then click apply. And then we need to move it to the very top. We need it to be here above gross sales. We want to keep gross sales, discounts, returns, net sales, shipping charges. You can get rid of return fees, you can keep taxes, and you can keep total sales. So your finished metrics column should look like that. Next, we're going to need to add, unfortunately, many things to dimensions. You can add these things one at a time, or you can add them all in bulk and then rearrange to be in the right order, because the order does matter. You're welcome to do this as you watch this video, but know that in both the FAQ on the Paper and Spark site and in the step-by-step Google Doc instructions, if it helps you instead to see a screenshot and a bullet point list, you do have access to this as well. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to go to the dimensions menu. I'm going to add everything in bulk and then reorder it. That's just a little bit quicker in my opinion, but again, you can go one at a time if you want. So we need to add line type. We need to add order or reversal, sales reversal, order or sales reversal. We need to add sales channel. We want to add POS location name. And then we need to add a lot for billing. We need to add the billing country, the billing region, and the billing city. And then we need to repeat those three things for shipping. So shipping, country, region, and city. Then we want to add some product information. We want to add product type at the time of sale. We want to add product vendor, product title, product variant title, product variant SKU, and that should be it. So once we've got all those things clicked off, we can hit apply. It's going to add all that stuff. Now we just need to get things in a slightly different order than what we have added them in here. So day, sale ID, order name, product title at time of sale, those were already here. These were already included in the template version of this total sales by order report. Next, I want line type, order or sales reversal, sales channel, POS location name. Now I need billing country, region, and city, and then I need shipping country, region, and city. So I'm going to click and drag these guys to rearrange them. Product type at time of sale, product vendor, product title, product variant SKU, and then product variant title. That should be good in this order. All right, and you'll see all this reflected in these columns here. This visualization we can leave alone. Now the important thing you want to do next is save this and rename it to be whatever is going to help you. So this could be bookkeeping report. This could be the CSV I need to do my Paper and Spark spreadsheet. This could be Paper and Spark CSV, whatever you want to call this. Name it something and save it. You'll never have to redo this process again. You'll never have to remake this again. All right. So once you save it, now we are going to export it. So in order to do that, first you want to go change your dates to whatever time period you need to export it for. I'll do January. You do that month and then you click apply. And then you can go over to these three dots and you want to click export. We want to have all results. We want to have a comma separated value CSV, and then we click export. It'll download to your computer and you can open this in whatever spreadsheet software you're using. You can even use this little pin icon right here to pin it to the top so that every time you log in every month, you'll easily see at the very top the report that you need to update your books. I'm going to go over to my downloads folder and then I'm going to open that with Excel, which is what I'm working in. If you're using Google Sheets, some people have trouble uploading their CSVs. So I've got a video for that if you need it. Now we've got all of our transactions for the month of January in here. Now what I want to do is copy this and paste it into my January import tab, this light blue tab over here. So to copy it, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can click and drag down and select all of this if you want, but I think the easiest way to do it is just click this weird triangle box looking thing in the upper left corner. That will highlight all the data here. And then I can either right click copy, or I can do Control C, or I can go to the edit menu and hit copy, whatever floats your boat. Once it's copied, I see this dancing ants marquee around my data. Then I can go over to January. It's a blank tab here first. Make sure I'm in cell A1. Okay, I'm scrolled all the way over to the left. So I see column A here. That placement is important. I'm going to click the cell A1 and now I can click paste or Control V or edit paste. Again, they all do the same thing. So I've just copied and pasted that CSV in here. I can go over to my monthly summary tab and now I see amounts populating from my Shopify sales, my shipping received from my customers, and any refunds. And it's hard to see here, but this refund is imported in as a negative number. See that little minus sign there? So it is lowering my sales revenue. And this is my total revenue for the month of January. This is how you import in your CSV and your sales information from Shopify. Now I'm looking at another set of example data here, but I just want to note a few things before we move on to talking about how to find your Shopify fees. You always want to make sure after you import in a CSV that the numbers showing up on your monthly summary tab look reasonable, look accurate. If anything looks wonky or like it's showing up in the wrong row or the wrong place, the first thing that I suggest doing is going back to where you copied and pasted that CSVN and making sure you started all the way over in cell A1. Those built-in formulas are going to be looking for specific amounts in specific columns, so they need to be lined up properly. And if you think you pasted it in incorrectly, your best bet is to just hit undo, Control Z, and try and paste it in again. Just to revisit what we just imported in, we have got your Shopify revenue streams from any sources connected to your Shopify site, including or excluding sales tax collected, depending on whether you actually received it or not. And I do want to note that your Shopify online store sales here in this first row, this is going to total up any sales on your site, regardless of how your customer checked out. So you may offer Shopify payments, but if they used something like Klarna or Apple Pay or PayPal or a regular credit card, any of those things are all going to show up here as part of these online sales. Remember that we have that special note for POS sales. If you are using a Shopify point of sales card reader, like at in-person events and people are swiping it, it will show up here, but it's going to leave the billing and shipping state on your CSV blank, which will impact whether those sales are imported in for sales tax purposes. It's not going to know the state of the sale, so it's not going to know to bring in those sales tax collected. I have a little note about that over here on the Google Doc instructions. So just note that sales that are processed with the Shopify point of sale card reader has the state info blank on that imported CSV. If you need to have that by state sales information, that sales tax collected for your state sales tax forms, you want to go in and manually type in the state into that shipping state column of your CSV so that you can get the accurate in-state sales totals you need. This will make more sense once we cover how the blue sales tax tab works. I just want to note it here so that you're aware. All right, let's move on to how to find and enter your Shopify fees.